tonight, more info on the COVID relief bill. The bill moves to the House tomorrow for legislators to vote on its changes. Representatives with the response.
One group disappointed that they were not higher on the vaccine priority list, who they are, and why they're voicing their concerns.
BSU homecoming events online, how organizers are planning to host that week.
Newly released footage of the Capitol riot as the FBI searches for a suspect who planted pipe bombs. And jury selection begins for one of the most highly anticipated criminal trials. I'm Tara Konechny.
And I'm Alex Almanza, plus up-to-the-minute weather and sports headlines. This is Delaware County's only live TV newscast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Legislators spoke out about the $1.9 trillion COVID stimulus bill today. After passing through the Senate this weekend, the bill is returning to the House tomorrow, where legislators will vote on the changes made to the bill.
I'm 110% confident that the votes exist to pass the American Rescue Plan. We'll pass it, hopefully, with some Republican votes, although, that remains to be seen.
The relief bill includes $1,400 stimulus checks, unemployment assistance, assistance for small businesses, and funding for governments, schools, and vaccines. But as Democratic leaders prepare to pass the bill, Republican legislators remain critical of the bill's content.
We know for sure that it includes provisions that are not targeted, they're not temporary, they're not related to COVID, and it didn't have to be this way.
Despite GOP criticism, the bill is expected to pass tomorrow, after which it will be sent to the president to sign into law. Today, the Biden administration said that Americans can expect to see stimulus money soon after the bill is passed.
Once the rescue plan is signed, we'll be able to start getting payments out this month. Treasury and IRS are working tirelessly to make that happen.
COVID-19 vaccinations are now open to ages 50 and up in Indiana, but one group of people feel like they've been left out of the equation. NewsLink Indiana's Emily Harless spoke with teachers from all across central Indiana about how the vaccination process is frustrating for them.
COVID-19 vaccinations have been rolling out since December of 2020, with healthcare workers and the older population as a top priority. While these individuals may be more likely to contract the coronavirus, teachers in Indiana also feel like they are just as exposed, which Ball State education major Noah Dial says is disappointing.
All these teachers I talked to are just like, yeah, I've either had it or I'm expecting to get it.
Many states have been offering priority to teachers, but until last week, teachers were left out in Indiana, something former teacher and data literacy coach Libby Perry says is upsetting.
To be denied the vaccine and to say, go forth and teach, push the schools open, but then shut them down, then open them up, then shut them down, then open them up. It's been rough.
The federal retail pharmacy program is allowing teachers of all ages to get the vaccine in the month of March at one of the 3 Indiana partners, Kroger, Meijer, or Walmart. Patrick Claddy, an 8th grade teacher in Greenwood, has already taken advantage of the program.
So the minute that teachers started finding out, phones were ringing and saying, call Meijer, call Meijer. And so that's how I got my appointment for that.
But Claddy was lucky. Many teachers like Perry say they have already run into issues with scheduling.
Now that they have opened it up for teachers, now you can't find an appointment.
And despite the program being offered now, Dial still feels like it took too long.
There's a lot of ignoring teachers anyway before the pandemic, and the needs of a teacher have never been very high in Indiana's eyes.
In Muncie, Emily Harless, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information on the federal program, you can visit ballstatedaily.com.
New data has found women tend to report more adverse side effects to the COVID-19 vaccine than men. Finding by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Food and Drug Administration indicate that nearly out of 13 million administered doses, 7,000 adverse side effects have been reported. Nearly 79% of those with side effects were women. Part of the reason could be that more women received the vaccine, or it could be biological.
And Thursday marks 1 year since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. So much has happened since then, and NewsLink Indiana has been on top of it since the beginning. Join us Thursday night at 9:30 for Coronavirus Pandemic 1 year later to look back at what's happened. We'll see the impact the pandemic has had on Delaware County and here on campus, plus a look at how the virus has impacted the sports world. You'll get an inside look at how we've covered the pandemic. Again, that's Thursday night at 9:30.
And in your campus news tonight, after losing this year's homecoming, Ball State has made changes for this year's students. NewsLink Indiana's Kara Porzuchek has more on this story.
Ball State's homecoming is doing something different. They're having homecoming in the spring. This comes after President Biden announced that there should be enough vaccines for everyone by the end of May. I met up with Peyton Lusk, who shared her position on this year's homecoming board.
Fun, and some things, are in person that they could go to. And so that'd be a good stress relief right before finals.
According to the BSU Homecoming Twitter page, the event will take place April 26th through May 1st, the week before finals. The vaccine may be coming out rapidly, but Ball State is still taking COVID seriously during this upcoming homecoming.
All COVID guidelines safely. So some competitions like my talent search and air jam will not have any spectators, neither will bed races. And so we're doing that for COVID guideline safeties, but people can still log on at the times we're premiering these events and watch them.
In Muncie, Kara Brzuchek, NewsLink, Indiana.
Homecoming isn't the only Ball State activity going virtual. Saturday marked Ball State's 18th annual dance marathon. What would have been a large in-person event took place behind a screen. NewsLink Indiana's Lily Cedardahl spoke with Riley Dance Marathon Committee members on how they made this widely known event virtual.
After weeks of waiting for confirmation, news broke to the Riley Relations Committee that the university denied the request for an in-person dance marathon before winter break. According to Ball State Dance Marathon Marketing Director Natalie Marner said that didn't leave them much time to plan ahead for a virtual event.
I would say that there was a lot of things that were still up in the air because, we had to get so many people to approve a virtual event.
Talent shows, line dances, and Code Red performances are just some of Riley Dance Marathon's traditions that Marner and her committee moved virtually. However, Marner says pre-recording these events was no simple task.
There's a lot of just moving parts to it and a lot of unanswered questions. 85% of that marathon was created 4 weeks before the event.
According to Marner's co-marketing director, Kelsey Maring said that wasn't the only aspect of Ball State Dance Marathon that changed.
One thing that changed about fundraising this year is typically we go canning a lot, and that's where you stand outside of a business with a little Riley bucket. I think more committee members and everyone in general kind of relied more heavily on social media this year.
Marner and Maring say they are pleasantly surprised with the marathon's virtual success. Ball State Dance Marathon livestream reached 40 states and raised over $300,000. In Muncie, Lily Cedardahl, NewsLink, Indiana.
And perfect weather for a little dancing outside, too.
Certainly, and I'm really excited for the spring homecoming, and I think today was the perfect weather for that to be coming up. Let's go to Maddie Johnson for the official word on that weather.
Taking a look at our weather, we hit 68 degrees as our high temperature today. That's the warmest we've seen so far this year, and it's still pretty warm outside. Current temperatures right now, 57 in Muncie, 48 in Fort Wayne, 57 as well in Indianapolis. On our current radar right now, we're seeing clearing skies. We saw some clouds this afternoon, but they're moving out of the area, making way for clearing conditions that will allow our temperatures to drop down into the 50s tonight and into the overnight hours. Now, coming up, I'm tracking our continued dry stretch. We're seeing 9 consecutive days of dry weather, and coming up, I'm tracking just how much rain is coming up in the 7-day forecast in my full forecast.
Thank you, Maddie. Still ahead, new accusations against one group involved in the Capitol riots. What the Justice Department says about their involvement.
And searching for a subject. Hear why the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward. We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Tonight we're bringing you updates on one of the most anticipated criminal trials in years. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is facing multiple charges related to the death of George Floyd. Nadia Romero is in Minneapolis with the latest as jury selection begins.
Following a one-day delay,
Good morning, members of the jury panel.
jury selection now underway in the case against Derek Chauvin.
You have been summoned as potential jurors in the case of State of Minnesota versus Derek Chauvin, which is a criminal case related to the death of George Floyd on May 25th, 2020.
The former Minneapolis police officer seen in this video, shown around the world, kneeling on George Floyd's neck for nearly 8 minutes.
We are praying for justice. Our hope is that justice prevails and we can all use this as an opportunity to be better and do better for those around us.
Chauvin has pleaded not guilty to charges of second-degree unintentional murder and manslaughter and filed a petition with the state Supreme Court to block the potential reinstatement of a third-degree murder charge sought by the prosecution. As the appeals process plays out in the higher courts, the challenging endeavor of seating impartial jurors moving forward.
So, did you see a video of Mr. Floyd being arrested by the Minneapolis Police Department?
Oh, yes. More than a dozen potential jurors already removed from the pool due to their responses to a 16-page questionnaire asking about their feelings concerning police and protests. Emotions outside the Hennepin County Government Center running high.
My concern is that the outcome is going to be the same as it's always been, a cop being found not guilty saying he was just doing his job.
Today, the Justice Department also took to the courts, asking the Supreme Court to dismiss a case concerning the Trump-era public charge rule. The rule makes it harder for immigrants to get legal status if they use public benefits like food stamps or Medicaid. In February, the High Court agreed to hear a challenge against the rule, but earlier today, Acting Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar told the justices that both sides agreed and the challenge should be dismissed. This means that the rule currently can't be enforced. President Biden has issued an executive order calling for the immediate review of the public charge rule.
More accusations as the Capitol riot investigation continues. Court filings from the Justice Department suggest that the founder of the right-wing parliamentary group, the Oath Keepers, directed Capitol rioters before and during the riot. The DOJ says Stuart Rhodes was giving directions to extremists who have already been charged in the largest conspiracy related to the attack. Prosecutors say Rhodes told some Oath Keepers members where to go and gathered them in person at the Capitol. Authorities have not charged Rhodes, and he's not responded to any comments.
The FBI released new security footage today of a suspect placing pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC headquarters the night before the Capitol riot. Authorities are still seeking information about the unidentified person in the video. The FBI has said the bombs were planted the night before the January 6th insurrection. The new footage shows the suspect from multiple angles recorded by several surveillance cameras. It gives a clearer look at the masked, hooded individual. The FBI and ATF are offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification of the suspect.
And coming up, Maddie Johnson has your full forecast. We'll be right back after the break.
Coming up, our ninth 9 consecutive days of our dry stretch is finally coming to an end. In my full forecast after the break, I'll be tracking just how much rain we're planning on seeing to end the week.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
come together,
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
And welcome back. It's currently 9:17 and you're taking a look at beautiful campus today. And Alex, quite frankly, I think beautiful is an understatement. I saw a lot of students outside today enjoying the weather, hammocking, doing a bunch of sports activities. It was just gorgeous.
Why not ditch the dorm and just sleep outside?
Right.
Just kidding. That'd be very dangerous. But for the full forecast, we have Maddie Johnson, who's with us in the studio. Maddie, good evening.
Good evening. It was quite another mild, beautiful, dry, and sunny day here. We topped out at a high of 68 degrees today. That's the warmest we've been all year, well above that average high we should be seeing of 46 degrees. Now, while we got into the upper 60s, we're still waiting on our first 70-degree day of 2021. Our last 70-degree day was set back on November 10th last year. That is 119 days ago. Now, while we didn't reach 70 today, we did reach the upper 60s, and it's still quite warm out there this evening. Right now, we're at a current temperature of 57 degrees, 48 up in Fort Wayne, 57 as well in Indianapolis. And as we head into the next 8 hours, temperatures stay fairly steady in the mid-50s, dropping down into the lower 50s during the overnight hours. We will end tonight with a low of 48 degrees. Those winds out of the south-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour, with increasing cloud cover as we head into the overnight hours and into the day tomorrow. Now, clouds do increase as we head throughout the day. We start out very mild at 8 a.m., partly sunny, 50 degrees, topping out at a high in the upper 60s, 68 degrees, with mostly sunny skies. Now, the big story for tomorrow is those winds. Those winds are going to be coming out of the southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour, but could gust even higher. Let's time out some of these wind gusts. Forecast 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts by the time we get to 7 a.m. tomorrow. Now, throughout the day, these wind gusts are going to be between 30 and 35 miles per hour, about 35 miles per hour as we head into the evening hours tomorrow. And then we gust up to 40 miles per hour by midnight on Thursday. These gusty winds staying in place ahead of our next weather system that moves in on Thursday morning. Those winds are going to be up to 40 miles per hour tomorrow and into Thursday. Now, timing out our next rain chances here on Precision Cast. Clouds move in by 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Rain moves in by early Thursday morning, becoming much more widespread by 10 a.m. on Thursday. This rain moves from the northwest to the southeast, bringing heavy precipitation, heavier pockets of rain possible possible by Thursday afternoon before this rain wraps up on the day on Friday. Now, how much rain are we expecting from this system? We're expecting anywhere between half an inch and an inch of rain, about 7/10 of an inch of rain here in Muncie. Lower totals up to our northern counties, higher totals up to our southern counties where they could see up to an inch of rain. Now, taking a look at our mid-7-day forecast, 68 and breezy for your Wednesday, those rain chances on Thursday before temperatures drop back down much more seasonable in the upper 40s to mid-50s. So it's going to feel like we're in a very much more active spring-like pattern for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Maddie. Now we're going to check in with Blake Dollier. Blake, what's going on in sports?
2 Ball State players being named to the All-Mid-American Conference team. We'll tell you who they are, and the countdown to regionals continues. We'll have all the area matchups and where to go for the big games. All that and more coming up before you know it, next in sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up-to-the-minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
It is not funny.
What on earth is happening there?
I feel sorry for the little guy.
I've got my socks on. Annie with her curly hair, which is actually never curly. Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Blake Dollier with sports. Coming home today for Ball State women's basketball, Ashlyn Brown earning first-team All-MAC honors today. For year number 2 in a row, Brown made a memorable career here at Ball State, becoming the school's all-time leading rebounder this season, as well as being one of just 2 Cardinals to reach the 1,000-point and 1,000-rebound milestone. Then Sydney Freeman getting All-MAC honorable mention. She was averaging just over 12 points and 4.8 assists per game, putting her 3rd in the Mid-American Conference. Arena to First Merchants Ballpark, Ball State baseball looking to stay hot against Old Dominion this weekend. After hearing from Coach Maloney last night right here on NewsLink Indiana, we continue with our coverage on the red-hot Cardinals pitching. Senior John Baker has been outstanding as of late. His ERA sitting pretty, 6.1 thus far, giving batters fits at the plate. And if you ask Baker, he would have never guessed his time in Muncie would have led him to where he is today.
Once we do start, MAC play, same type of mindset, just taking it one game at a time. I've, started basically my whole time at Ball State, and so I guess at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't have expected to kind of be like a bullpen guy or like relief pitcher, but I think Coach Maloney realizes that I'll do, whatever it takes to help out the team.
Moving on to high school sports, to the hardwood. 4 area schools are fighting for their tournament lives on Saturday. 2 of them will even be facing one another in round 1. Blackford and Wapahani will be the game to watch this coming Saturday. The Bruins are coming in ranked number 8 in 2A with a school record 23-4 record on the year. Wapahani having a sensational season themselves, sitting at 18-7. The Raiders and Bruins both coming off back-to-back sectional titles. As for the other matchups, Cowan is the lone 1A Delaware County team, and they'll be taking on Lafayette Central Catholic. The Blackhawks and Knights are tipping off Saturday morning at 10 for the Frankfort Regional. That'll be inside the Hot Dogs home gymnasium in Newcastle. The only area school to make it to 3A regionals. They'll be facing Northwood. The Trojans coming in with a unique home court advantage, playing at the world-famous Newcastle Fieldhouse. The Panthers and Trojans will also be playing at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. No other 4A schools in and around Delaware County were advancing to the regionals this year, so that'll be a wrap. Regional teams. And finally tonight on NewsLink Indiana, Cowan basketball honoring the late coach Lee Ingalls this week. Now, Ingalls died in a car accident last October. After this, the team vowing to go all in for Ingalls, and Saturday, they did just that. For the first time in school history, Cowan won back-to-back sectional championships, taking to social media to honor the man that made it happen. What a heartwarming story here. And guys, I mean, indeed, heartwarming may even be an understatement because Coach Ingalls was one of the legendary coaches around this area, so nice to see his team do that for him.
Really is like a family.
Thank you, Blake.
We'll take one final look at your weather after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. The National Women's Hall of Fame is inducting a new group of women this year. The class of 2021 was announced Monday. It includes former First Lady Michelle Obama. In a statement, the organization called the former First Lady one of the most influential and iconic women of the 21st century. Other women joining the Hall of Fame include soccer icon Mia Hamm, PepsiCo's first female CEO, Indra Nooyi, and NASA's first African-American female engineer, Katherine Johnson. Now, Alex, I think we could both agree that the weather was just gorgeous out today. I loved feeling the sunshine. It was just fantastic.
And I'm hoping that it stays that way. Maddie Johnson, what's it looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, taking one last look at your
Dry day, 68 degrees your high on Wednesday. Rain chances move in by Thursday with a high of 63. And then we become much more seasonable as we head into the end of the week and the weekend. Temperatures sitting in the mid-40s to about 50 degrees.
Thank you, Maddie. That's all for tonight from NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.